I'll be portraying Jessica in The Buffer Zone. This was a script that was given to me a few months back. It was very exciting and intriguing, mostly because I couldn't find any version of myself in there. And that's when I know a script is really good and I'm meant to be doing it. I like the idea that I can read a script and instantly see it as alive. I love it when dialogue on the paper is alive, and that's what I felt with Jessica very much. I almost felt that every time I read her lines, I times it by 10 and really brought it into 3D and made it very livid. So you can only imagine how exciting the filming process will turn out to be, especially with that. I would say that portraying an influencer isn't necessarily an easy thing to do, because a lot of the times, especially during the first few versions that I read and examined, I almost felt that there was an inevitable touch of ridiculousness to her. And I almost felt that there was, okay. The worst and most limiting thing that I could do would be to play a version of foolishness in order to completely ridicule the character. That would have been a caricature. That wouldn't have been an honest portrayal of what Jessica is trying to express. She has a very interesting character arc, quite dark. So that's always exciting because you're just going beneath the surface. And I love the fact that there's a way to really explore a different side of viewing what an influencer does. A long lost quote, which is incredibly relevant today, was dated back to maybe 1509 by Erasmus, was something that I really took in as a kind of a mental kind of mantra whilst examining this, which was the less talent they have, the more arrogant pride and vanity they have. All these fools, however, find other fools who applaud them. And I think that is so relevant to the existence of influencers today and how maybe they view themselves or what they wouldn't like to admit. But if you're seeing things from the outside, that's exactly what it is. And what's so dark about this screenplay that I enjoyed so much with The Buffer Zone is how lost you can get in this world, the iPhone world, the cameras, the iPhone, and you're just losing complete touch of your humanity. I mean, when I was first reading the versions of this script, the latter scenes, I was wondering, I couldn't tell if she was addressing the echoes in the haunted village frozen in 1974, or if she was talking to the camera. And she felt that these people were equally as hungry as her for wanting to be seen, for wanting visibility. And it's crazy how she loses complete sight of reality and doesn't realize that she's in danger. So I think that's a very nice antithesis to Megan, who's more in tune with her reality and is just more human and, you know, has to take a pause on certain things and tell her, you know, we're not going to film this. This isn't footage. These are humans. These are people who lived here. So it's kind of crazy how far you can go to really examine all of that. But like I said, the worst way and the most limiting way to perform this would be to present a person who is trying to be foolish, because an influencer in their mind is the most intelligent, self-aware person on the planet. And that's why they love the sound of their voice and they love performing for millions of people. But there's nothing real to that. So what I love about this horror film is that it really gets to the root of the problem, which is generational trauma and historical trauma. And I love that we can take these themes of humanity that have to do with our history and with the realities of the tragedies of the world and use that as a new way of shaping and viewing the horror genre, which I believe is something that's strongly missing in this market. So I find it so beautiful that we can take historical trauma, war, conflict, influencer culture, bridge that all together, and create a new way of viewing the horror genre through these themes.